Hi students, this is going to be a big video covering a lot of ground, so we're just going to start right away. This is going to help you learn how to find and cite your sources. And even if you've already been taught a lot of this, this may be helpful to you because I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that are specific to ASU's library, and I'm also going to show you how to incorporate generative AI into this process. So hopefully you'll find this helpful. At the very beginning, when you're looking for sources, of course, you're going to start with Google. We all do. It's totally normal. It's a great place to start. You can kind of up your game by using an advanced search. Just go to google.com/advanced_search, and you can see that you can look for sources or results specifically with certain words, exact words or phrases, any of these words, none of these words, and you can also narrow the updates, the languages, the file type, things like that. So that can be helpful for you if you choose to start off with Google. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good place to start if you need help with search terms. So let's say I'm looking at a research-based proposal type of paper, and I want to solve the problem of snowbirds driving in Arizona. And are dangerous, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna look at a lot of these. I get a little nice AI overview here, but I'm having trouble maybe finding specific keywords that will help me look for more scholarly sources. So one thing that you can do, I'm actually going to open up a new ChatGPT here. Provide me with keywords to search for articles about so that can be a place to start. Here we go, age-related decline, policy on elderly driver safety, things like that. So one thing that I started using was the term elderly or geriatric driver cessation. And after doing some preliminary research, even going into, Wikipedia and things like that, let's see. See if we can find anything. There's nothing. Yeah, there is something. There's nothing wrong with starting off with Wikipedia. A lot of times, if you go all the way down, you've got a reference page. So Wikipedia can be helpful for finding keywords, for finding sources. Obviously, you're not going to quote anything from Wikipedia, but I look at it as a springboard. We can also look up what the laws are. It would be nice if it sent us to the web page, but it actually doesn't seem to do that. It does direct us back to a source that we could go to, which is nice as well. So that's how you can use Google and Wikipedia. Another thing to think about that some of you might be familiar with is Boolean operators and Boolean search terms. So when you are using search engines like Google, or we're going to talk about the library search in a second. You can look at this, you can pause it if you want, but it will tell you how to put in your keywords in ways that will help you. So if you want only elderly, you'll put those words in quotation marks and it will only give you those results. If you use elderly DRIV asterisk, it'll give you driver, drivers, driving. It'll give you all endings of that word, which can be helpful. So if you need to pause this and take a look, you can, but that's how you kind of refine your search terms when you're doing a search in Google or something like that. Again, Google Scholar, great place to go. We love Google Scholar. One thing I will say, when you're in Google Scholar, when you're also on the Library One search, you need to make sure that you are signed in to your ASU, my ASU account. So look, you can see there I am right there. When I'm in Google Scholar, I'm going to get rid of these tabs here. When you're in Google Scholar, I can see that I am signed in. The reason this is important is because if you find a source and it's behind a paywall, being part of ASU, paying tuition to ASU, will often get you access to those resources. So before I jump into Google Scholar, I want to show you how I used AI. So I tried using this one called Sourcely. It never worked for me, so that's going to get a thumbs down from me. But I did go to ChatGPT for some ideas. The proposal was, or the prompt was pretty generic, and it gave me a couple of really good ideas that I wouldn't have thought of. So some studies, and it gives me the links to those studies. So that's what's really nice now about the ChatGPT 3.5, ChatGPT 4, DALL-E, things like that. They're going to start giving you links to your sources, which is really nice. So then we've got some national highway traffic safety, some studies, things like that. And I was like, okay, that's great. Can you give me some scholarly articles? Maybe for either my class or another class you're required to do specific types of sources. And they're going to give me a link to it. Beautiful. So I can just click that. It's going to take me there. You can see that this is going to be behind a paywall potentially. So what I can do is I can take this information here and I can put this into Google Scholar, or I can put this into the ASU OneSearch, which I will show you in a minute. But then I'm going to be able to access it because now, now it knows, it says sign in through your institution. Now it knows that I have paid for it. Goodbye to the ad. And there is my PDF. So sometimes if you get stuck behind a paywall, it's because you're not signed in to your My ASU account. All right, let's take a look at the Library OneSearch real fast, and we can go back to the ChatGPT if you want. But here's where you can go to search for things, and the Library OneSearch will help you because it's going to do articles, books, journals, magazines, everything. So let's look at elderly driver cessation. That means trying to get old people to stop driving. Let's see what ASU comes up with. Oh, we've got Austria, Taiwan, transportation alternatives. If I'm doing a research-based proposal, that actually could be a really good article for me because it's giving me ideas on what to do next. So I can click View PDF, and it's going to fetch it for me, which is lovely. Thank you, ASU. It wouldn't have done that for me if I weren't connected to ASU. So make sure that you're signed in, and it's going to help you here. You can see that you can download it, look at all of those great things. So while it's downloading, I'm going to go back to here. It gave me some ideas and some links, which is nice. What's also cool is as we get better iterations, more advanced iterations of ChatGPT, I can ask it questions like, what are the current renewal laws? It'll send me to the DMV. It'll send me to some other places. So it gives me some background information for some more not scholarly, but informative websites that I can use. And there's nothing wrong with using a lot of different sources. You don't have to only use scholarly sources. For my business writing classes, Forbes is a great source. Bloomberg is a great source if you have a subscription. Things like that can be really helpful. So you don't have to feel like you're locked into only scholarly articles. A lot of times you can find good sources that aren't necessarily, published peer review articles. So there can be other places, other sources that are pertinent to the research that you're doing. Okay. So this is back to the ASU library. I want to show you something else about the ASU library that can be very helpful, especially if you're new to research. This is the library guides page. It's libguides.asu.edu, and it's such a good resource. We don't use it often enough. The first one is a list of course guides, and would you believe it, no matter what class of mine you're taking, we've got English 101, English 105, English 302. If you click on those, it's going to give you ideas of what to do, how to cite sources, other helpful tutorials, course reserves if there's a textbook for a course that you would like to use. Sometimes teachers put them on course reserve so you can use them in the library. When to use Google, finding sources, look at thesis statements, research starters, evaluating your sources, citing your sources, all of these cool things that you can access through the library. There's also the Ask a Librarian feature if you get stuck and you need some help. So the library website is going to be very helpful to you. All right, let's get into citation now. First, I'm going to show you what not to do. So sometimes in Google Scholar, actually I think I need to open it again, sorry. If I want to use this article, here's my article. And a lot of times students will say, oh, cool, citation. And they'll look here, oh, here's my MLA. Boom. Here's my APA. Boom. We're good to go. Here's the problem. This MLA is old. This is MLA 8. We are in MLA 9. This is not correct MLA citation. Sorry to tell you. So do not use Google Scholar to cite things. You also want to be careful if you are using generative AI. It may or may not give you the correct citation. So just for fun, let's see what comes up. Please give me the MLA 9 citation for the article. Let's see what happens. Ooh! It's almost right. It's really, really close. That's good. That's good. We're getting better. We're getting better every day, especially when generative AI databases are connected to the internet. It's going to do better and better. Now, because generative AI only knows what it knows, what it's been taught, it'll only give you the right citation if it has that information already in its database or if it's connected to the internet. Otherwise, generative AI is not reliable for your citations. So I don't recommend doing generative AI for your citations. In this case, it was real close. That's correct. I don't need Oxford University Press. I don't know why that's there. And then it does give me the DOI. It's so close. I'll show you how you can always be guaranteed that your citations are correct, whether you're doing MLA or APA. Go to the Purdue Online Writing Lab. It's going to tell you all about what you need to do, how to format your works cited page, how to do in-text citations, which we'll look at. But here's the MLA basic style, tells you how to do it. Double space your citations. Use a hanging indent. If you don't know how to do that, I can show you in class real quick. Use a hanging indent. You usually just go to Format, Special, Hanging Indent. Okay? All these new rules as of 2021, things like that. If you're doing APA, it's going to help you set up your pages there as well. Okay? So use this, do the step-by-step. You can often find... This is powered by Citation Machine, which you can use, and it's super great as well, and it will give you the correct thing. So let's see. I don't think it found it. Let's see if it can search it by my DOI here. And sometimes that's how it goes. You kind of have to figure it out. Ah, there. Now it found it. We can cite this. It'll ask us how we want to cite it. I can make sure I can fill in all the fields. There we go. That is correct. I want it for APA, APA 7. That is correct. Okay, so I do recommend the citation machine as a citation generator. One thing you have to be careful with if you're going through this way and doing it kind of yourself, let's see. Most scholarly articles are going to be called periodicals because it's an article in a scholarly journal. Even if you're accessing it online, it does exist somewhere in print, so it's going to be considered a periodical. And then you can just follow this format and plug in the information. When it comes to pages, you do need to be a little bit careful because look here. In my PDF viewer, it says pages 1 to 6. So a lot of students will be like, oh, pages 1 through 6. That's incorrect. If we scroll down, you can see here, these are my page numbers. This is the page numbering for the journal that it's in. So those are going to be my page numbers, and if we look, it did give me the correct page numbers there. So careful of your page numbers. We talked about formatting. Okay, the last thing that I want to go over, I know this is kind of a whirlwind and it's a little bit longer a video. I am going to try to keep it under 20 minutes. And I think we're going to make it. When you are using your sources, you are going to want to know how to format your quotations. If you've got a short quotation, it tells you how to do it. If you've got a longer quotation, it tells you how to do it. Okay. We're going to go over this more specifically when we're talking about incorporating sources, but these are the basics. So when you're using in-text citations, these are the rules for that. Okay, let's see. You can also look at this page where it says in-text citations, the basics, and it gives you the information. And you can see that if you identify the author in the sentence, you don't have to put it in the parenthetical citation. Okay, and that's for MLA. If you're using APA for my business writing classes, you've got the same guides here. Ugh, I hate these little things. Style guide, all these things, footnotes, endnotes, in-text citations, right there. Okay, and you can see how they do that. You can put it in the sentence itself or parenthetically after. Note, in APA, we don't have page numbers. We just have the author and the year. Okay, so I hope that helps you. I know that was a lot. If you ever have any questions, you can ask, or you can refer back to the Purdue OWL, the ASU library website, or drop into my office hours. But I hope that was helpful for you.